Next, we're going to jump into Star Wars The Mandalorian Season 3.
Yeah.
Which apparently the ratings have gone down 25% this season.
I don't know why. This is really
I don't know either.
So this
one's called The Foundling.
Yeah, it's about a couple of foundlings, actually. We're not petting you anymore. You're getting wild. Anyway, yeah, it's about a couple of the foundlings.
Yeah. Well, this is a spoiler review because we have to talk about something. So Bo-Katan and Din Djarin are back with Grogu, back with the Mandalorian, with that specific clan.
Yeah.
And they're doing their training and everything. And now Bo-Katan is now part of their creed.
Yeah. For now, anyway.
And so she's now not taking her helmet off unless she's alone. We do see her take her helmet off.
She's trying to obey the rules. Yeah. She's trying to obey the rules and stay with this group for now. Anyway, we'll see. And we see in this we had seen in the previous episode, I think it was that one or the one before, where they have a boy who's now become like a foundling. He's with them. They don't have that many people or children, so he's very precious. And a giant pterodactyl monster comes and takes him away and puts him in his nest.
Before they were attacked by a giant sea monster.
It's a very dangerous place where they're hiding out. I
suppose giant monsters.
That's why they don't think anyone will probably find them, because no one wants to go to this place. It's like a prehistoric Earth, but way worse.
But they keep getting attacked.
With bigger monsters.
And I didn't realize this, but this was pointed out on another podcast I was listening to. They haven't set up any defenses. Which is pretty dumb. They haven't come up with some kind of a defense.
Well, I was saying...
And it keeps happening?
I was saying... I would have assumed that they would have gone around and got rid of all those pterodactyls at first, instead of waiting for the pterodactyls to come and eat them. But the thing is, it is a way of defense in that no one's going to bug them. They do have a cave.
Yes.
And they're all about fighting.
I think you're right. They should go around and start hunting and be like, just clear the area.
Eat up the pterodactyls. I mean, yes, okay.
And the sea monsters. There's only so much you can do about them.
Well, the sea monster, as long as they stay away from the water, which they're aware of, the sea monster is a good protector for them, too, if anyone else comes by. Just jump up and eat them.
Unless you're about to get eaten by the sea monster. That kid almost got eaten.
Time by the edge of the beach.
Yeah, so they're hanging out. They're doing Mandalorian stuff. And they're fighting and they're doing all these games. Because weapons are their religion. And so they're all about fighting and practicing all the time and challenging each other and getting better, right?
Anyway.
So it's essentially like being in a dojo all the time.
Yes.
Except you're not allowed to take off your armor.
There's actually, I'm lying, there's actually 5 foundlings in this episode.
Oh, there's a bunch, yeah. Because Grogu is becoming a foundling now.
Yeah, but now they got 3 pterodactyl foundlings.
Oh, yeah.
Which, if they were smart, what they would have done is go get the eggs from the pterodactyl, get rid of the pterodactyl, and then have a whole group of these.
Leads the war party to rescue the foundling that is kidnapped by the giant pterodactyl, and then they chase it down, because they chase after it with their jetpacks, but they run out of fuel.
Well, they're too loud.
So she chases after them with her ship, finds out where it is. They go there. They got to climb up to it, up to the nest on top of the peak, and then take it out and also get their foundling back, right? So she rescues the foundling. This part didn't quite make a lot of sense either, but I don't want to get into nitty gritty because I don't want to get into it because I really enjoyed this show and I don't want to just keep making complaints about it because some of the storytelling in this it could have used another draft just to make more sense. But I had a really fun time with this episode. So she rescues the foundling with the rest of them. She just leads the war party, and then they kill the giant pterodactyl, right? I'm pretty sure they kill it, and they get the 3 pterodactyl
the sea monster
hatchlings.
It.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, because then the sea monster comes up and grabs it.
The sea monster is a way. As long as you don't get eaten by it, it is a good defense item. But they have to train.
That's a dangerous defense item. They need to train
up that sea monster or something, or get its babies
managed to do that.
Train them up.
But what I really enjoyed about this episode was the secondary storyline that they're doing now, and that was a flashback to Coruscant to Order 66.
You've been waiting for this.
With the Purge of the Jedi. I always like going back to see the fall of the Republic. But we get Ahmed Best, okay?
Yeah.
Comes back, and apparently he's playing a Jedi character that he has played before.
I'm not familiar
on
with
a
that
kids'
character.
TV show.
Oh.
So he's like Jedi Master Beck.
Yeah. I wasn't
BEQ.
familiar with that Jedi.
But apparently this is a real thing from...
Because we were wondering how the baby Yoda, Grogu, got out of the massacre.
Yeah, everyone's been wondering
at the
this.
temple. So this showed, and I know you were really wanting to see this, how he actually got out, and it was because he was rescued by this Beck Jedi, and they went through one of those typical flying vehicle
it's a speeder.
chases, which we've seen a lot of on Coruscant. And then he's affiliated with Naboo because he gets into one of those Naboo cruisers with the Nabooians with their
Jar Jar could be on that ship. We don't know. He could be the one responsible. But listen, Jedi Master Kalarin Beck. Okay. That's Ahmed Best's character's name.
They did say his name, but I wasn't familiar with it.
It is, neither was I. He did a great job, though. And if anyone deserves this, he deserves it. Because he took a lot of crap from fans and still takes a lot of undeserved garbage from people. They're constantly attacking him online. Okay? This is a guy who he admitted he almost committed suicide because the fan backlash against him for the Jar Jar character.
About Jar Jars, you don't even know who's playing Jar Jar. It's Jar Jar.
Doesn't matter. He was hired to do a job. He did what as George Lucas directed him to do. He did his job. It's not his fault that George Lucas wanted to put this
whoever it is that's
this ridiculous character in his movie. I've never been
people hate the Jabba the Hutt?
No, but they hate Jar Jar and they took it out on Ahmed Best, which is not fair. He didn't deserve any of that crap.
Your mom should have written him some fan mail.
Yeah, my mother. Shout out if you're watching there, Mom. She's the biggest Jar Jar fan probably on the planet.
Probably the only one.
I don't know. The kid seems to love Jar Jar as well. With the Jar Jar Halloween mask.
Has been Jar Jar for Halloween, and nobody on the street understands and thinks she's a cow.
Some kind of weird alien.
She wears it.
But Ahmed Best took a lot of crap over the years and still does, and I don't think that's cool to do something like that. But now he's back playing a Jedi Master. He saved Grogu from the Jedi Temple on Coruscant when it fell at the end of Revenge of the Sith, Episode 3.
Yeah.
With Order 66. That was the purge of the Jedi, and the Empire takes over. The Emperor takes over, and, now the Sith are in charge. That's the beginning of the Empire. So this was a really good addition to the Star Wars lore, because it doesn't retcon or change anything.
Well, we don't see a lot of different Jedis. Once they're all eliminated, I like to see a different one and see a different story, because we're always just seeing the same ones.
But those are the most important ones.
I'm sure they have lots of important things to do.
You're saying you don't like Jedi Master Plo Koon?
Well, we're just tired of seeing the same ones. It's nice to see a different one.
Jedi Master Mace Windu?
Yeah, well, he's so boring. But it would be interesting if he survived the fall.
And his hands getting cut off.
Well, Dad, you can do that in Star Wars world. That's no problem.
Yeah, no problem. Lost my hands. I'm still good to go.
You don't even need lungs or anything.
Sam Jackson has been campaigning for that for years.
Well,
to come back as Mace Windu.
We don't see him impaled on a building or something. We just see him falling. Now, Coruscant, the buildings are pretty far off the ground, but you never know. He could have fallen onto a ship or something.
He's a Jedi. He's got the Force.
Yeah. He could have just zoomed himself back into another
Force
open
wasn't
window.
in his hands.
Maybe there was another broken window.
He still got the rest of them.
Maybe that window that they use with those worm things. They cut a hole in. Maybe he went through that hole.
There's an easy comparison for Mace Windu. He lost his hands, but he still got the Force. Darth Vader got all his limbs chopped off, and he still has the Force.
I said they can even make new lungs. It's not a problem. Hands are not a problem in this universe.
Yeah, Luke lost one.
They're not an issue.
That's the advice he should have got from Obi-Wan, okay? Because Obi-Wan should have just said, Luke, no matter what you do, keep both your hands, okay? Because Obi-Wan did. One of the few Jedi to keep both his hands.
He lost the rest of himself. But anyway, Yeah, the hands are no issue. Anyway, it would be interesting. I'm interested to see different stories because we've always seen the same ones. That's all I'm saying.
This was just filling in gaps.
Anyway, it was nice to see. I know you were excited to see it.
I enjoyed it, but I also enjoyed the Bo-Katan, Din Djarin, the Mandalorian Creed. I enjoyed all that as well. Although it was pointed out to me recently that the storyline was kind of dumb, and I'm like, oh, I enjoyed that. Now it's kind of ruined for me.
I don't think it's
but
dumb.
Their point was still valid.
Listen,
it was kind of dumb.
This harkened back to my childhood because when I was a kid, that was one of our main things to scare us from leaving the property. Don't leave the property or the eagle will get you and take you to the nest.
So your parents just lied to you about that. If you step off the property, the eagle's going to get you.
Yeah, well,
but as long as you're on your property.
Flying. Yeah, well, we couldn't go too far from home. So this to me was like, oh my gosh. This is like my childhood nightmare coming through. Is
this a big problem in that part of the country? Because Christine and I are from different parts of Canada. And now we live in a completely different part of Canada.
Well, I tell you.
Where I grew up in the city, okay?
You didn't have eagles flying
I didn't have to worry about eagles flying over.
No. Well, they never got me, but they have taken some cats and probably took our little turtle as well, maybe.
Okay, but they didn't carry off any babies.
No, but I used to have nightmares of pterodactyls getting me, so...
Okay.
Thanks, Mom and Dad.
We're off on a sidetrack here for your personal gripes.
The child getting taken by the pterodactyl, that was like my recurring nightmare.
This really hit home for you, huh? You're like, that could have been me. Getting back to The Mandalorian, what they're doing is they're following one narrative, but they're showing side stories as well. So this time we got a flashback to the fall of the Republic, and we found out how Grogu got out. And he could end up going to meet Jar Jar in that ship. We don't know. Maybe it's one of the other Senate. Well, no, he was the senator at the time, as well as Padme, but she was off, crying over Anakin at the time.
Padme, don't even get me started.
And then previously, we got another side story that could have been happening at the same time. It could have already happened. And it was about the scientist from the first season who was experimenting on Grogu.
Well, we don't know if he's dead or not. His name? Or he's now brain dead. He was, begin with a P.
Pershing.
Yeah, he was
Dr. Pershing.
That was in the last episode. We don't know if he survived that frying of his brain. I don't know what kind of shape he's in.
So we got a story to find out what happened to this scientist that we hadn't seen for 2 seasons.
I think he's probably...
I think he's fine.
He's probably... Maybe he'll go, maybe he'll turn evil now.
Well, the guy who administered it to him had it done, the Mon Calamari.
Anyway,
he was fine. He was just happy. It's like a lobotomy. It's a Star Wars lobotomy is what they're getting.
No, but this lady really fried him. But anyway, we'll see.
Yes.
Maybe he's going to help Grogu in the future. Maybe Grogu will need assistance.
Maybe.
He is a clone and he's missing some genetic pieces.
I'm enjoying this storytelling of breaking up the main story.
Yeah.
And to tell congruent stories, to tell flashbacks.
I think it's real fun. I think
we could get more stuff about Karga Grief, I think is his name. Carl Weathers. Okay. We get more stories about what he's up to. They could always bring back the rebel stormtrooper. I can't remember her. Cara Dune. They could bring her back, but they would have to recast because they're not bringing back Gina Carano. She kind of got fired from Disney.
This is the lady, the fighting lady.
Yeah, the MMA fighter.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, that was a while ago now she's been on it.
Haven't seen her since the first season.
No, but this season I find it is a strong season. I'm enjoying it. We want to see if the Mandalorians are going to come together as a nation, I guess we'll call them.
It's just a small band.
Sects. No, but there's way more of them out there, and if they could get them all together, they could go back to Mandalore because doesn't look so bad. You just have to watch out for those evil Krang creatures.
Trolls and those Krang monsters.
They can handle them as long as they know they're there.
I think they need to get more people. This is mostly about probably the training of Grogu because now he's a foundling. With the Mandalorians instead of being a youngling with the Jedi Order that he was before.
Yeah.
And you know what? I always thought he turned down Luke to become a Jedi, maybe because of what happened on Coruscant. We don't know. But he can always be a Mandalorian and then go back to being a Jedi, because there was that original Mandalorian that became a Jedi, and that's how we got the Darksaber. He could do both.
We also know that Luke isn't the best at training people.
Yeah, Luke made a few mistakes there with
part of the problem.
With Ben Solo.
Yeah, maybe he almost.
If you know what we're talking about,
like,
write
universe.
in down the comments below.
Yeah, maybe that's what it was more about. But he feels a much stronger connection with Mando. Anyway, it's fun. It's fun. I think it's a great season. I'm enjoying this one more than.
Yeah, I don't understand why the audience is dropping off here. If you're someone who watched The Mandalorian, you dropped off, let us know. And let us know why. Maybe it's just people are busy and everyone's working so much more now.
Yeah, and I tell you, the Baby Yoda, Grogu does some cute things in this past episode.
He's still got his chainmail on, and now he's got a metal crest of the Matterhorn. So it's like a whole big breastplate because it covers his whole chest. And it's just a big sigil.
It's cute, and he does some of those harken back to Yoda's jumping and flipping.
Do you think they'll give him gotta do the flips, you know? Anything with the prequels, you gotta have flips, you know?
Yeah.
Do you think they'll give him a Mandalorian helmet?
He will get one, but they're gonna have to get his ears into it somehow.
Exactly. Are they gonna have to make everything for him has to be custom? Is he gonna get custom gauntlets for his little 3-clawed hands?
They're all different. Well, he had a thing he had to wear this time around, and they were
shooting darts.
Yeah, but it'll be cute as anything.
I like where this is going. I'm enjoying it. Christine's still enjoying it.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it. I think it's a real fun treat to get a new episode of a Star Wars.
Still got 5 more episodes to go.
2 shows.
Only 8 episodes this season.
Yeah, they don't give us much, but it's nice to see it. It's fun.
And some of them are short too. That's a bummer.
I know. Anyway, well, we don't want them to be long.
Let us know what you think of Star Wars The Mandalorian. Are you enjoying it or not? Do you agree with what we're saying? Is there something in it you want to see? Let us know down in the comments below. We want to hear from you. We'll read out your comments on the next episode.
And